What's up, Wargamers? You're watching Caw Valley Wargaming Guild TV. I'm your host, Josh P. In this video, we're diving into the exciting narrative campaign system for Warhammer 40,000. It's called Crusade. If you're looking to take your battles beyond one-off skirmishes and build a persistent story for your army, this is the way to do it. This video will guide you through the fundamental rules of Crusade in 10th edition Warhammer, and help you embark on an epic journey of conquest and glory. Let's roll. First things first, what exactly is a crusade? Well, unlike your standard match play games, crusades are all about narrative play. They allow your army to grow and evolve over multiple battles, earning experience, acquiring powerful upgrades, and suffering lasting consequences. Think of it as a role-playing game intertwined with your tabletop battles. Narrative play is not meant to be hyper-competitive. Try not to meta. This is your opportunity to get together with a group of friends and tell an interesting story. Crusades are led by campaign masters. Much like a dungeon master in D&D, a crusade campaign master has the creative freedom to modify rules as they see fit to better tell the story. If you're a crusade master though, make sure you communicate these rules changes to your group and be flexible. Crusades are mostly team-based, consisting of 3 teams known as alliances, and are broken down into phases. At the end of each phase, the overall status is given and scores are updated. Crusade campaign lengths vary. The average is about 6 weeks, but you can go as long as you want, and you could potentially cram one into a weekend. The very first thing you do when you join a crusade is build what's called your order of battle. This is a roster containing your crusade force that you use to form crusade armies. And yes, I said armies plural, because each crusade game you play, you'll be able to form a new army roster using units from your order of battle. You won't always play with your entire crusade force that's on your order of battle. Most games are smaller points values, and therefore players cannot take their entire order of battle to play with. Orders of battle have a points cap themselves, called a supply limit. The total number of points on your order of battle can never exceed this supply limit. All crusades have players start out with 1,000 points in their supply limit. This can be increased via a requisition or a victor bonus. You can add or remove units at any time in between games, but keep in mind removing units with any experience or battle honors on them will remove that completely and permanently. You do not get to keep any relics or battle honors in a stash or anything like that. They're just gone. All units that you add must have a crusade card filled out, and we'll talk about that next. Crusade cards are how you keep track of all the information you need to know about each unit on your order of battle roster. The crusade cards will keep track of the unit's status, crusade points, experience points, level, and so on throughout the entire crusade. Once you create a unit on a crusade card and add it to your order of battle, you cannot change that unit's weapons, war gear, number of models, or enhancements unless you purchase the appropriate requisition. So you heard me mention requisitions already. What are they? They allow you to modify your units during the course of the crusade. Requisitions are purchased with requisition points, or RP. All crusades will give every player 5 RP to start. You'll gain RP by simply playing games. You get 1 RP per game played. You can also gain RP from victor bonuses and some agendas, but you can never have more than 10. Players will keep track of the number of RP they have on their order of battle. Requisitions will state when they can be purchased, and there are 6 requisitions. The first requisition we'll talk about is the increased supply limit requisition. It costs 1 RP every time it's purchased, and every time you do, it increases your order of battle supply limit by 200 points. It can be purchased at any time. This means it can be purchased right before you play any crusade games. My recommendation is to purchase this once, maybe twice at the beginning of the crusade. It gives yourself a little bit of margin with your supply limit and adds more units, and therefore more flexibility when you build armies to play games. The next requisition we'll talk about is called Renowned Heroes. Its cost is variable. 1 RP to initially use it, and then plus 1 RP every subsequent time, to a maximum of 3 RP. What it allows you to do is add an enhancement to a character unit, but there are some stipulations. You can only use this requisition when you A. initially add a character unit to your order of battle, or B. when your character unit gains a level, and this purchasing this requisition will take place of that character gaining a battle honor. You can select any enhancement that character unit would have access to in any of your faction's detachments. When you do so, you increase the points cost for that character unit and you add one to its Crusade points. My recommendation is to purchase this requisition at least once when you're initially building your order of battle, as this is the only way you're going to have access to any of your detachment enhancements. The next requisition we're going to talk about is Legendary Veterans. Its cost is a flat 3 RP. It's used when a non-character unit reaches 30 XP, which is the non-character unit XP cap. It allows any non-character unit to go past the level of Battle Hardened and therefore get extra battle honors up to 6 instead of the normal 3. Next is the Rearm and Resupply requisition. This cost is 1 RP. It allows you to change any war gear, weapons, or equipment on a single unit's Crusade card. Any modified weapons that are replaced by this requisition are simply lost. You cannot use this requisition to change one modified weapon to another modified weapon. When you use this requisition, make sure you recalculate any points changes and update your unit's Crusade card. Keep in mind of your order of battle supply limit. Next is the Fresh Recruits requisition. Its cost is variable, 1 RP plus 1 RP for every 2 battle honors a unit has, rounded up to a maximum of 4 RP. This allows you to add a number of models to a single unit up to the maximum allowed on that unit's data sheet. Recalculate the number of points that unit will cost as a result of adding the number of models, and make sure you don't exceed your supply limit on your order of battle. Finally, we have the Repair and Recuperate requisition. Its cost is variable depending on how many battle honors the unit has that you want to spend this on. 1 RP base plus 1 for every battle honor. The max you'll spend will be 5 RP. It allows you to remove only 1 battle scar from a single unit. As a unit becomes more upgraded, this requisition will become costly. Crusade points will be increased by 1 when you use this requisition, as it will remove a battle scar, which decreases Crusade points by 1. We'll talk about that later. My recommendation is make sure you keep a reserve amount of RP throughout the Crusade for this requisition specifically, especially late game, because it's going to start to get expensive to make sure your good units don't have battle scars. So what are Crusade points? Crusade points are the game balance mechanic for narrative play in 40k. All units will start with 0 Crusade points, and you'll keep track of each unit's Crusade points on their Crusade cards. Every time a unit gains a battle honor from any means, you increase its Crusade points by 1, unless it's Titanic, then you increase it by 2. And every time you fail an out-of-action test and takes a subsequent devastating blow or battle scar, you'll reduce the Crusade points by 1. Units can have negative Crusade points. Then, before playing a game, players will compare total number of Crusade points on their army rosters. The one with less Crusade points is the underdog, and may get Crusade blessings depending on the difference in Crusade points. Crusade blessings are Crusade specific, so reference your Crusade book for what blessings you get to choose. Now let's talk about how units can gain experience and therefore gain ranks. They can do it various ways, but the 3 main ways are as follows. You play in a battle. At the end of a battle, for each unit that took part in that battle, gains 1 XP. A unit will gain 1 XP for every 3rd recorded enemy unit destroyed. And every battle, once per battle, at the end of the battle, you select 1 unit that took part in that battle, and you mark it for greatness, and give that unit 3 additional XP. Epic heroes, fortifications, swarms, summoned, and replacement units will never gain experience points and therefore never level up or gain battle honors. Each time a unit increases rank by achieving the experience points needed, that unit will gain a battle honor for you to choose from. Only character units can go above the rank Battle Hardened unless you spend the Legendary Veterans requisition. Now let's talk about how you can buff your units. You do so with battle honors. Each time you go to select a battle honor, you can choose from the Crusade specific list or your faction's codex specific list. Battle honors are divided into 3 categories: battle traits, weapon modifications, and Crusade relics. Battle traits are skills or upgrades that are unit specific. That unit will have to have the keyword associated with that battle trait to gain it, and battle traits can never be duplicated. Weapon modifications, you select one model in a unit, and you select one weapon equipped by that model, and that weapon will gain 2 weapon modifications. The one model you select in that unit must be a character or unit champion. For instance, in a unit of Orc Boys, it has to be the Knob. You cannot select a Crusade relic to be modified by the weapon modification battle honor. Crusade relics are character units only, and they're locked behind that unit's rank. For instance, I cannot give an Antiquity relic to any character that is not heroic or legendary ranked. Remember to upgrade your unit's Crusade card with any battle honors you choose, and to add 1 to their Crusade points. Unfortunately, there are debuffs. At the end of each Crusade battle, for each unit that was destroyed during that battle, the controlling player must roll 1d6 for an out-of-action test. The test is passed on a 2-up. On a fail, the controlling player gets to choose one of the following for that unit. Either take a devastating blow or a battle scar. If you choose devastating blow, you get to pick one battle honor that unit has and remove it. That unit must have a battle honor to select. If you choose battle scar, you gain 1 battle scar on that unit. You can either choose or roll on the table. You cannot have duplicates. A unit can have a maximum of 3 battle scars. After that, it must take a devastating blow. If it cannot take either, that unit is permanently destroyed and removed from the order of battle. Remember, when you remove a unit, any relics and enhancements are deleted. Finally, we're going to talk about how to muster your Crusade army. Mustering is different in Crusades than it is standard 40k games, and make sure you take in consideration what you learn here when you build your order of battle. Mustering starts by selecting battle size. Standard sizes apply: 1,000 points for an incursion, 2,000 for a strike force, 3,000 for an onslaught. Each player will field equal points, as in standard games. The points limits for the games will default to the player who has the lowest points to play with. Refer to Crusade book for Crusade-specific rules. Next, you're going to start your army roster. You record all the details of your Crusade army on an army roster as you would a normal Crusade game. Remember, your opponent can see your army roster at any time. Then you select your army faction. Note that on your army roster, only one faction keyword can be used on your army faction. Your order of battle can contain units with various faction keywords, but once you pick the faction for the game you're playing, only those units with that faction keyword can play, unless rules dictate otherwise. Next, you're going to select detachment rules, and here is where Crusades are really different than normal 40k games. You note on your army roster one set of detachment rules for your Crusade army. Your Crusade army gets the detachment rules ability and access to the detachment stratagems, but you do not get to select any enhancements from that detachment to use. Remember, in order to gain enhancements on your character units, you have to purchase the Renowned Heroes Requisition. You're then going to select your units from your order of battle that you want to include in your Crusade's army. Remember, you don't have to field the same army every game. You just use that order of battle like a roster to pull units from to build that army. You can only include a unit in your Crusade army if it has that same faction keyword, you have enough points remaining in the game point limit, and your Crusade army doesn't already contain 3 units with the same data sheet, or 6 if it's battle line or dedicated transports. That rule is the same as goes in normal standard 40k games. Finally, you're going to select your Warlord. You select one character model from your Crusade army to be your Warlord, and note that on your army roster. This will be your leader for this Crusade army, and it will gain the Warlord keyword. You don't have to select the same character to be the Warlord every time unless specific Crusade rules dictate. Each Crusade book will have changes to each of these steps, so make sure you refer to your specific Crusade book for details. And there you have it, a basic overview of the Warhammer 40k Crusade system. It's a great way to play with friends, build a unique story, and experience battles in a whole new light. So gather your forces and make your order of battle now. I hope you found the video helpful. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content. Let me know in the comments what aspects of the Crusade you're most excited about, or if you have any questions. And thanks for watching. If you'd like to become a Cobb Valley Wargaming Guild member, feel free to scan the QR code on screen right now, or click one of the links down below. Thanks for watching.